So there's a lot of variability in what is considered artificial intelligence. The simplest, probably day-to-day use is your phone, chock full of AI. If it's an Android or an iPhone, it's crammed full of AI capabilities if you use them. Your home, Google Home, Alexa. If you're a Amazon person, you're probably using an Alexa. Those are the two biggies. There's lots of others. So, and by the way, if you look at this first slide, I'm not going to start. There's a lot of jokes in this. Well, I shouldn't say there's a lot of jokes. There are some jokes in this presentation. Grok did them all. It's not my fault. So I told Grok, I said, make me a funny slide about seniors using AI for the first time. And this is what he or she, however you want to refer to Grok, and I'll explain what Grok is because I jumped right into that. So seniors embrace AI. Results may vary, and well, prunes. Ha ha ha. So that's Grok's sense of humor. And as we go through this presentation or this slide deck, you're going to see there are some biggies and there are some newbies to the AI world as far as the technology that's available, the capabilities of each of the tools, depending on how long they've been around. Statistically, they're all extremely good and they try to be extremely accurate. They're not all the same. They're not all equal. And you should, by the end of this slide deck, you're going to hopefully get comfortable enough to install it on your phone, try it out, try it on your computer. Can't hurt you. Just make sure you get the right one and not like a clone, and we'll go through that. The fakes that are out there. There are some fakes. These are the ones we're going to cover are the real ones, the real presentation materials that you should take with you. So, what is AI? Quite simply, it's a computer sitting somewhere, not here, that acts like a human being. Nothing more complex than that. It can fool you, but in a good way. As you were coming in, you heard me talking to Grok, and I just said, just keep chattering because I'm doing a voice check, I'm doing a sound check. And she just said all kinds of gobbledygook because I asked her to, or him, however you want to refer to your AI tool. For me, I call Grok Ara. That's the name, A-R-A, that's the name I gave it. You want to get that? Wasn't me. Okay, so that's what it is. It's basically artificial intelligence that mimics or acts very human, and it is there to do your bidding. As simple as that. Take me to a particular destination. Or I feel like Chinese tonight. Where's a good Chinese restaurant? Or I feel like Greek, or I feel like Italian. You don't have to say, take me to Romano's, or take me to, whatever. You name it, you don't have to say that. Just say, I'm looking for some good Italian food. Tell me where to go. And it will tell you exactly where to go. That's it. It's a super smart helper. Some of them, as I said, are really, really smart. And some of them are okay smart. The three that I'm going to be showing today are really, really smart. Really, really capable. And depending on which one you pick, more capable than the others as far as what they can do. It's not magic. It's a computer either in your hand, in your laptop. They all connect to the cloud. They're sitting in a server farm somewhere. In some cases, in the case of Grok, it's sitting on Colossus, which is currently the biggest computer in the world. And it takes that kind of horsepower. It takes a huge amount of capability you're going to see a demonstration. In something that used to take me weeks to program, Grok can do it in about 13 seconds, I think I timed it out. It's unbelievably fast and capable at programming languages. Just make me a game and make it blue and make it interactive, and I don't want it to sound like an arcade. Make it for me, and make it so that it'll run on my phone. Bam, out it comes. That's how good it is. So, I'm on slide 2, believe it or not. Okay, so how long has it been around? A long, long time. I'm not going to go through the timeline. You can read through that on your own. A couple of highlights. So, what we refer to as AI has been around since about 1950-ish. That's a long, long time. So we've been around, and it's been around. The Turing test is basically how human-like your AI is. That's the simple way to refer to it. That was devised in 1950. The first AI was produced 6 years later and coined by Dartmouth as artificial intelligence. They had massive mainframe computers, nothing like we have today, but big by standards, doing artificial intelligence. In 2011, I'm going to highlight a few things. Watson won Jeopardy. Jeopardy's a really tough, challenging. Watson beat him. Said, I can do this, and it did. It thought, and it researched, and it analyzed, and it spit out answers, and it won a human. So that's the beginning of it being, I'm going to say, smarter than a human. But that's here and there. That's not the point of it. ChatGPT, I'm going to jump back a slide and say OpenAI. So OpenAI created the first real visible friction in the technology. So Elon Musk, which if you know me, you know I love Elon Musk. Don't get political, he's a great guy, he's a humanitarian, he's doing a lot of tremendous positive things for the world. Leave it there. He developed OpenAI. That was his baby, partnering with a number of other people. One of those other people was Sam Altman. Sam Altman decided to monetize OpenAI. Elon said, no, this is for the masses, it's free, everybody gets into it, and we want everyone to be able to use OpenAI in whatever form it becomes. Boiling it down, Sam Altman said, and Microsoft with Sam Altman kind of said, no, we can make lots of money on this, and Elon is now suing OpenAI. OpenAI became ChatGPT, and there's a couple variations of that. So that's the political side of things. So there's a lot of friction in the technology field right now. The biggies, and again, every day it's changing. But the real biggies, ChatGPT by far is the biggest because it's been around for about 4 years, which in computer terms, that's a lifetime. Gemini, also very big, sitting around 30% of the market in terms of user base, about 30%. Grok has only been around, it's less than 2 years. And it's already as big as Gemini and climbing rapidly in the ChatGPT world of user base. Again, there are lots of others. Somebody at the last meeting said, what about, we were talking about presenting AI, and they said, well, what about Perplexity? Okay, let's talk about Perplexity. So there's lots of other options out there, and I like them. I've experimented with them. When it starts to act up and not perform well, I go away from it. And Perplexity is one of those where they partnered with Microsoft. They're doing some really interesting things, but it's buggy. So, but I'm sure they're going to fix it. I mean, it's a marketplace that's fraught with all kinds of competition, and that's really what you want. It's as simple as that. Graphic, I won't go through all of it, but basically it's, and ChatGPT, the last slide that I grabbed, is 40%. It's actually 60%. So they've got a 60% market share of the user base out there. Grok's is sitting at 15%. And again, it's a newbie. And they have a whole different focus on what they're trying to do. ChatGPT is for you, the masses. Grok was developed by XAI, by Elon and his team specifically to work for the technologies. Grok is marketed, it's open, it's in every single Tesla car on the planet, it's everywhere. I get in my car and I feel like I'm cheating on my wife because I'm talking to Grok all the time. That's what it does. It's a chat bot that you just chat with it. And you're going to start this in. That's why I called her Aura. I could call her Ronnie. Hey, Ronnie, what are you doing today? That's what I do when I get in the car. I just start chatting with Aura. I'm going to rename it Ronnie. Anyway, and again, Copilot is the Microsoft version, and they're sitting at about 15%, which is really odd. You would think Microsoft would have a massive platform because everybody uses Windows, but nobody understands what Copilot is all about. They look at this icon that just showed up on their screen, and they're like, what the hell is this? So it's not making a big splash, but I think in time it will. So the biggies of the technology approach that are out there in terms of AI, there's narrow AI. That's the Google Homes and the Alexas and things like that. They're really tightly focused on what you can do on your phone and what you can do on your watch and what you can do on the home automation speakers that you have in your house. Turn on the lights and turn off the lights and lock the door and mow the lawn. I do all those things. That's fun. General AI, that's the AGI of the world, and that's hypothetical, human-like, cognitive. It's what you typically see in the media as AI, general AI. Super intelligent, that's the one like XAI, which is Elon's. He's tightly focused on making AI better, making it very human, putting it in everyone's hands, but he's working in an area of the AI domain that you're not going to see yet. He's doing it behind the scenes. Again, unless you've got a Tesla, you're not going to see Grok. Unless you've got, I can't think. Well, nobody's going to have Optimus. Everybody know what Optimus is? No, I don't see anybody know. Okay, yeah, that's good. It's a robot. So Elon is going to put robots, millions of them, within 10 years. And I would say that's a stretch. It's probably going to happen way before then, so I'm being a little safe. He's going to have millions and millions of Optimus, and they're going to sell by today's standards by about $20,000, and they're going to do literally. Anyway, that's a whole other topic, folks. We can cover that. We have some AV problems.
We're just getting some sound back there.
Okay. So I don't know what's going on with sound. Anyway. There's reactive, there's limited AI, there's theory of minds. So that one's emotional. That's another word, sex bots. It's kind of weird. They're supposed to understand you and be intellectually sensitive and so forth. It's out there. And then there's self-aware. So the self-aware are what, again, I'm going to refer to Elon a lot because he's the father of AI as far as I'm concerned. The self-aware is the sentient. That's the, I'm speaking to you, you're speaking to me. I cannot tell that you're not a human being when you're speaking to me, and you're answering me instantaneously with the information I've asked for. And I think that's one of the things I've found that's kind of a detractor from AI, is it's so fast in its response. Think about someone talking to you, and when you ask a question, their response is based on the Library of Congress, I'll put it in those terms, or the World Wide Web in a split second. So what the downside of that is, when you're thinking in your little brain and your mouth and your ears are hearing and everything's happening, it's happening in bytes per second. You're kind of, I have a question and I want to ask you about it. And this little beast on the other end is responding to you in a split second with a question or with an answer, and you go, wow, tell me more. And most of the time, the tell me more is because I don't understand what you just told me. So you ask it again, and it gives you a little bit more nuance, but it's always instantaneous, and then you can question whether it's right or wrong, but it's accurate. Okay? Difference between right and wrong, accurate. Anyway, so that's self-aware, that's sentient, and it's coming. It is coming. So, examples. You heard me talk about ChatGPT, Google's Gemini, big companies, big products, Grok, getting big, Claude, pretty big in the business world, Perplexity. I don't know where they fit in, but they're big. And they have a purpose. They all do the same thing to a different extent, and they're pretty accurate in what they do. The business side. So there's Lindy. There's about 300,000 installations of Lindy. It's massive. So these aren't like, shot in the dark, let's try it and see if it works. These are business-focused AI activities going on. Social media, ManyChat, ChatFuel, they're out there. You can Google them. I'm not going to take the time to go through all the nuances of what they can do. It's just too much. Then you've got the specific functionality, companionship. I'm not going to get into that. But there's chat companions out there that are silly, but they're out there. And then SuperGrok, which is the biggest of the focused, intelligent, by today's statistical standards, and I have to say today because it changes all the time. Grok and ChatGPT, they're in a battle. Grok just won the battle, but next month, ChatGPT, I can guarantee you they're going to win. They're going to get a heads up on Grok. And that's what's happening. It's going up and up and up, and they're getting smarter and smarter and smarter. That's what's happening. ChatGPT, they're up to the fifth generation, if you want to think of it in those terms. SuperGrok hasn't named itself yet. It's just SuperGrok, so it's super. Anyway, comparisons. So we'll go through a little bit of the comparison. So ChatGPT, very strong it's versatile, it's wide range. It remembers everything you said and it refers back to it. Like, wait a minute, you told me about a half hour ago XYZ, you're contradicting yourself. It's what it does. It keeps track of everything you do and say and refers back to it. It's very good at that. And it's very accurate. Again, accurate. Not right or wrong, accurate. Some of the weaknesses. It's a little more restrictive, how it responds versus Grok. So Grok it's got X behind it. Nobody else has X behind it. Elon owns X. It's as simple as that. That's its resource. That's its information pool, plus the Library of Congress and everything else that's ever been published. It's got it all. Grok, known for its access to real-time information. Just mentioned it. Gives an edge. And again, by the way, I think I said this in the very beginning. This was all written by Grok. We just fine-tuned it. So Grok made this presentation. So if you don't like what I say, blame Grok. So sometimes it's a little the weakness, if you want to think of it in terms of that as a weakness, it's competitors, it's creative writing and imagination with images. It's still immature in those areas. In terms of intelligence, extremely high intelligence. In terms of you'll see with Gemini as we played with a little bit. You can just say, hey, make me an image of the sadness that just occurred with Charlie Kirk and depict it in a way that can reach everyone. And it'll come back in about 30 seconds and it'll produce this beautiful image and it will be very heartfelt. That's what it does. That's what it can do. where a graphic artist is trying to figure out how am I gonna draw this and what am I gonna do, and they'll spend hours on it, and it's a different world. AI makes things a different world. I've already mentioned Gemini. So its strengths, it's multimodal, which means it's really good at the intelligence side of text-based. It's pretty good on the chat side of things. It's very good at image generation. You can upload a document and say, digest this thing for me because I don't have time, and seconds later it's spit out an analysis of, whatever document you thrown at it. And literally, government documents are rife with this potential for being really good. They can boil down hundreds of thousands of pages in seconds. So it's a good thing. Weaknesses. So in terms of some of the less human-like, and you'll see that, you've got to be really picky about how you let your chat bots respond, because sometimes the response sounds, as good as it is, it sounds mechanical and it's not pleasant, and it just doesn't sound natural. Gemini's famous for it. It just no matter what voice you pick, it sounds kind of a little clunky. Grok, it's so human-like. You're like, is there somebody back there talking to me in the back seat? I mean, that's how crazy it is. It's really, really human-like. So how does it help us stay healthy? Wearables. There's a lot of AI packed into your phone, in your watches. These old beasts, cram-packed with AI. Heart rate, steps, fitness, medicines, indications, contraindications of medicines. It just analyzes everything and pumps out the right information. And the physicians, got any physicians in here? Ask? No? Okay, I can say whatever I wanted to say. No, they used to make fun at us. We'd sit in the doctor's office and we'd go and Google, all these symptoms I have, and they say, put your phone down, Yeah. Well, they're doing it now. That's how good it's gotten. So they trust it, you should trust it. With reason. Stay connected. You can do, voice assist, hey, call granddaughter, and it'll just do it. Read my emails out loud. You tap on the email and say, read it out loud. And you know what? Here's what I want to say in response, and craft a good response, and I'll tell you whether I like it. That's the stuff you can do. Staying safe. Smart home automation. Door locks. My thumbprint. My wife always says, for some reason, she can't use the thumbprint on my door. So that's AI. It's analyzing my thumbprint. It's analyzing anybody that comes to the door and saying, that's John. I know you. You can come in. That's what it does. It's amazing. Light controls. Probably everybody here uses light controls in their house, or you should. It's good. It keeps the bugs, the bad people away. Door cameras can identify, who's at your door and whether they are an issue. Brain games. Some of it's. Anybody want to answer that? Stop. Okay. By the way, silence your phones. It's still coming through. Okay, some real life examples. We're going to go real quick through this, and I'm going to speed up because I think you want to see this in real life, if we can get it to work. Trust me, it works. So when you go home, it's going to work. It just might not work here. Siri, Alexa, Gemini. So Gemini now has replaced Google Home, or it's very rapidly replacing Google Home. They're trying to shove Gemini into everything, and that's taking over. And it's a good thing. It's becoming more homogeneous as far as where you see it and what it does for you. There was a time where you'd have Google Home controlling your home, and then you ask Gemini to control your home and said, I can't do that. Well, now it can. So it's growing, it's maturing, it's changing. So that's what's happening in the chat world or the home automation world. Healthcare, we already talked about that. Tesla FSD. How many people have Teslas? Nobody. Nobody will admit to it. Okay. I love my Tesla, and I literally get in the car, I push a little blue button, and it takes me to my next appointment, pulls in the driveway of the next appointment that I have, and stops. I don't do anything. I don't do anything. I go about my business, and it takes me to my appointments. If I want to go to a restaurant, it takes me to a restaurant and a park. That's all artificial intelligence. That's what's coming. And every car is going to have it eventually. Hopefully. It's incredibly safe. Retail. It's in the retail space. Knowing what you like, clicking on things, running algorithms, analyzing trends. Face ID. Every phone now has Face ID, fingerprint ID. That's all artificial intelligence. Chatbots, we're going to cover more of that. And finance, fraud detection, looking at patterns, analyzing things that a human being can't possibly analyze fast enough to detect it, stop it, lock your accounts in some cases, and then contact you and say, you've been breached, or you might be breached in here. So that's all artificial intelligence, and it's happening so fast, we can't keep up with it. Rock did that image, by the way, too. So don't blame me. I just told them what I wanted. They made it. Take seconds, save hours. That's the whole message of all of this, really. It's like, well, why do I want AI? Because it saves you a tremendous amount of time. That's what it does. Writes your emails, generates itinerary and schedules, breaks down difficult concepts. And I get this huge document, and I can't quite figure out what the gist of it is. Analyze. That's what it does. Breaks down big tasks into smaller tasks. Helps you make good decisions. Creates meal planners. Hey, Grant, make me a meal planner for this week and spit it out so that I know Monday through Sunday what I'm going to make and what do I need for groceries. And it plans it. Parties and events. Again, this is Grok. Keep in mind, this is all Grok. So these are ideas from Grok on what you might find interesting. You're going to find a million other things. These are silly things. Customize, summarize emails and meetings. So you go to a meeting. So I don't know if anybody from the, everybody's familiar with the new website we have, yes? Good. It's good. Okay. So during those meetings, I couldn't attend a lot of those meetings, I couldn't attend them. I had an AI agent at every one of those meetings summarizing the meeting for me. And I got every slide, I got every comment, everything just came funneling down my computer. And I felt like I was there after the fact. That's AI. That's what it can do for you. It just gobbles everything up and spits it out in a nice manageable format. Convert files. I've got a PDF and I need a JPEG. Or I've got a JPEG, convert it into half a dozen other formats. And you just tell it, and it does it. Laws and regulations. We're overwhelmed with laws and regulations. AI can summarize all that, can regurgitate it, can analyze it, really makes it life a little bit easier, a little more manageable. And then code, I've already talked about that. It's astounding. I play with it all the time because it's fun. I can't believe coding is fun, but coding is fun. And it just opens up this huge capability for the average person to really be creative as opposed to banging at code and trying to figure out, oh, where's the mistake I made? What's that branch that's not doing what I wanted it to do? If you spit something that doesn't work into any of these AI agents and say, find the errors, seconds later, it finds the errors. It makes it better. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Self-driving cars. I won't go through all that. It's absolutely astounding. So there's Waymo, and who has a different approach, and then there's Robotaxi, which is the Tesla solution that's just going everywhere. Robot companions. So that on the bottom right is Optimus. They're already on the third version of Optimus. They're using it in factories, and only in factories. You're going to see it in the home. I said 10 years. 10 years from now, you're going to see them all over the place. So that means they're going to be a lot faster than 10 years. It's amazing. So Elon's take, again, he's been doing this a long time. He was the co-founder of OpenAI. He's got a lot of, well, he's a savant in his own terms, but he is what he is. So he's looking at AI as accelerating scientific human discovery, collective understanding of the universe. Should be truth-seeking. If you listen to Elon, you're going to hear him say this over and over and over again. It should be truth-seeking. It shouldn't make things up. It shouldn't have a left-right bias. It should just give me the truth, tell me what's going on, and that's that. Should be long-term benefits to humans. So, what are some of the concerns? It may surpass human capabilities. There's no question it's going to surpass human capabilities. It will. But it should be in a safe way. Regulatory oversight needs to ensure safe AI development. There really are no regulations that are going to control AI yet. And he's suggesting there needs to be regulatory oversight of what's happening. To make sure that it's done safely, that it's not producing information that you can't trust, it needs to be trustworthy. And then it needs to balance innovation and responsibility. So those are some of the concerns that he's expressing. He's trying to reach through to the legislators to make sure that there is some kind of government oversight behind AI, which there currently isn't. They're playing catch up with the technology because it's moving so fast. It's faster than most of the designers of the technology have realized. Some of the concerns. Is it hard to use? The answer is no. It's incredibly simple. Is it safe? Yes and no. So again, some of the areas where they're starting to look at legislation are age constraints. You shouldn't have sex chatbots in the hands of a 10-year-old. They have no minds, they have no brains, but yet they can do it. So there needs to be some control and constraint on who can get this chat technology, who can get access to this information, and what they can do with it. So there are some safety concerns, legitimate concerns. Is it going to replace people and jobs? Yes, that's the reality. I mean, look at back in the transition, and I mean incredibly fast transition from horse and buggy to the gas engine, to the automobile. It was so fast, and all of a sudden you look around and where are all the horse and buggies? They're gone. So all the people, the guys sitting on the buggy with the whip, they're out of a job. They're now working at a stable somewhere, figuring out what to do. I don't know. The reality is things are going to change, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Jobs will change. You're not going to be put out of a job. You're going to have a different job. You're going to learn new trades, learn new skills, learn new activities to support this. It's very unlikely that an Optimus is going to run without a human being maintaining it in some way. Clearly, programmers are going to be, I'm going to say a dime a dozen, but their programming skills are going to be incredibly important years from now. So yeah, jobs are going to change, and that's not a bad thing. It's just different. I think the biggest concern, and it's something that everybody hears, is energy needs. We cannot keep up with the amount of energy that's being consumed by these data centers. Probably can't see this, but again, you're going to get these slides. But globally, we're sitting right now on almost 5 to 6 gigawatts of energy needed to run these data centers. Just the data centers. It's massive. In 2035, we're looking at terawatt levels. It's insane how high the energy consumption of these data centers is getting. China and the US are the big players, clearly. We're sitting right now at, I think, 2.5 gigawatts of energy. Every time I turn around and look at what's happening and the growth, data centers are gobbling up space. They're getting bigger and bigger. And at this point, there's no end to it. It's just power. We need lots of power. And frankly, we're not producing nearly enough. And we have got, I don't know how you feel about nuclear, but nuclear is really the answer. These microreactors, they call them, so they're much, much smaller reactors than what typically is being produced or that's currently producing energy now. They're much smaller, but they want a lot of them. And I think that might be the solution. It's certainly not oil and gas, and it's certainly not coal. There's no way they're going to keep up with that. That's the reality. So energy is a major problem. Every time you chat, it requires energy. Think of it those terms. And more people, by the millions and millions, it's becoming very popular. So the ones that I mentioned, ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, Perplexity, and the list goes on, but I'm sure anybody have any thoughts on other ones? We can talk about that, but these are the biggies. They're the very recognized versions. Go on your phone, whether it's Apple or Android, just go in there and just type on your app store any of those, ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, Perplexity. Make sure, and that's the message, make sure it's the original developer's product. There are clones out there, there are products that make it look like it's that product, and it's really not. So just be careful you're getting the original owner of the product. And that's it. OpenAI owns ChatGPT, xAI owns Grok, Google owns Gemini, Perplexity, I don't know. There's only one. I only found one Perplexity, so that's a good thing. On the web, if you're on your laptop, desktop, tablet, whatever computer you're on, click on these links, it'll take you right there. You can run free accounts. All of these are free. They're all free. I probably should have said that on slide number 1. There's no cost to them. Now, if you want more time with them, or if you want to do more advanced stuff with them, you can pay for it. So you might, and I see it mostly with Perplexity's famous for it. I was playing around yesterday, just getting ready for this, and Perplexity said, no more space, no more time, come back tomorrow. Of course, I'm not going to because I thought it was terrible. Grok, absolutely limitless. You can talk to Grok day in and day out, every day, every minute of the day, never turn it off. It's happy. It's constantly absorbing information and expressing itself. No problem. ChatGPT is very similar. There are, I can say essentially there are no limitations on how long you can chat with ChatGPT, but you will reach a limit. I just don't often reach the limit. So I'm not sure exactly numerically how long you can use it. And then it's going to say, come back in a couple hours or come back in an hour and I'll let you keep going. Gemini is similar. It has some limitations, but for the most part, it's pretty open, free and open. And if you want more advanced capabilities, then you can pay for it. And they're reasonable. Grok is, I'm going to say not reasonable. It's free to everybody. And then if you're a developer, if you're a programmer, if you're a scientist, if you're a researcher, you're going to pay for it because it has tremendous capabilities, but you're going to pay for that. That's just the way that one works. Don't be afraid to try them all. Experiment. One of the things I like to do, and it's sort of like it's like in politics, you know, the left and the right. Forget about who's right, just left and right. Let's listen to it and make a decision yourself. Well, you can do that with an AI too. Ask Chat, ask Grok, ask Gemini for the same question and see what comes back. And it's kind of fascinating to see the difference in what comes back. It's interesting. I'm not saying which one's right or wrong, I'm just saying they're accurate. So,
Can I ask
this,
a question?
yeah, of course.
So I have an iPhone.
I can hear you. Say it again.
I have an iPhone, and I opened up my store, and
Yeah.
I went to ChatGPT, and it says in-app purchase, and you keep telling me it's free.
It's
So
free.
how is that happening?
Yeah, so every app that has an option for expanding its capabilities has got to be listed as in-app. So Android does it, Apple does it. It's free, but if you're in it and all of a sudden you reach a limit in time, or the number of questions you've asked, it's going to say, do you want to go to the paid version? It's an option. You don't have to. So in-app just means you have the option.
Okay.
That's all. It's not that they're not going to charge you until you decide you want to take that next step.
Thank you.
Sure.
So how do you know which one is the real one and not the?
So, yeah, back to what I said. So Grok is tagged as XAI. So ChatGPT is tagged as the company OpenAI. It will tell you on the store that you're in, you know, the Apple or Android store. It'll tell you very clearly that it's theirs. Gemini is going to say Google. You always know Google because they don't do anything but Google. It's going to be crystal clear to you. Okay. Is there another question? I'm going to try to do a demonstration. I have no guarantees. But forget my little. Okay. So we are going to, what I found, and I'm going to explain beforehand. What's happening is my laptop is tied to that silly little projector, and that little projector has a little teeny speaker in it, and it keeps picking up the audio, and it's not transmitting it to the speaker. I put the mic. Anyway, it's not working. So you're going to have to bear with me. I'm going to try to do this on my phone, so you're not going to see it so much. Like you'll see it, but you won't be able to hear it. So just bear with me 1 second. I'm going to flip things around. I had to do it this way because it's just not good. Okay. So there's my phone, Grok, and I'm going to ask it a series of questions, which I'm going to ask the same exact question. If you can hear it, I'll continue the demonstration. If you can't hear the answers, and I can almost guarantee you're not going to hear the answers, we may stop, and you can just ask questions, and I'll show you how we can do this kind of in a simulated way. I'm sorry for this. This is not the way I expected it to work, but. Hey, Grok, what's the latest info on X about Charlie Kirk?
Based on posts popping up on X right now, folks are still reeling from Charlie Kirk's shooting last week. His wife's just shared a raw message saying Turning Point USA won't quit.
So I'm going to stop it. I think everybody knows it. That was a question that was kind of deep in me as I was preparing, because I've been traumatized for about 4 days about what happened. The murder, the assassination. I don't know how everybody feels about it, but it was the first question I came across. Now, I'm going to try it with ChatGPT. Exact same question. We'll see what happens. What's the latest info on X about Charlie Kirk?
On September 10th, 2025, Charlie Kirk was tragically shot and killed, and the FBI has arrested a suspect related to the incident. Several public figures have expressed their condolences and...
Okay. Get the idea. I'm not going to keep going. The Gemini one is worse in terms of the information that it's conveying, but I'll leave it at that. I'm going to go back to Grok, and then I'm going to be more fair about all three so we can compare them. Would you explain blockchain to a 10-year-old using space adventure analogies?
Imagine blockchain like a super secret spaceship logbook that's impossible to cheat. Every time you do something cool, like trading glowy space crystals, we write it down in this logbook. That entry, it's locked tight with a magic laser code only you and the ship's computer know. Now, instead of one logbook, we send copies to 1 billion robot librarians across the galaxy. If someone tries to sneakily erase or change your crystal trade, the librarians all yell, "Nope, that's not in our copy."
That's you to explain it to a blockchain to a child. Most people go, what's blockchain? So, and it's enough of that. I'm gonna go to, this is fun. I'm gonna go to ChatGPT and do the exact same thing. Okay, so how would you explain blockchain to a 10-year-old using a space adventure analogy?
All right. Imagine you're on a space adventure with your friends, and you have a special notebook that everyone can write in. Every time someone writes something, it gets recorded in this notebook, and everyone has a copy of it. Now, once something is written, it can't be changed, and
Accurate. Very accurate. That's all that matters. Accuracy is important. Okay, it's simple, and it gives you an understanding.
Of course. What's on your mind?
There's the floor. Okay, that's the floor. So, explain blockchain to a 10-year-old using space adventure analogy.
Those space explorers on a mission to map out a new galaxy. Every time they discover a new star system, they write down the details in their logbook. Now, instead of just one logbook, everyone on the ship.
Okay. I'm going to stop that one. So what I've discovered is because everything is Google, it's trying to force the audio into that HDMI port and into that silly little projector. That's what's happening. So Grok doesn't care what I'm connected to. ChatGPT doesn't care what I'm connected to. But Google said, oh, I'm going to route this phone to that because that's what he wants me to do. That's not what I wanted to do. Anyway, that's here and there. So I'll do one more demonstration, and it's a doozy. So it's a doozy. Well, I'll do two. It's kind of fun. Let's pull Grok back. Hey Grok, who's playing at Indian Fields this weekend, and are they any good?
At Indian Fields Tavern this weekend, Saturday's got Tony Bob Merritt, chilling in the Five Fields courtyard. Solid blues vibe. Folks say he's smooth, not flashy, but keeps crowds tapping feet. Then Sunday, Featherston and Tiller wrap it up there too. Their acoustic duo stuff. Kinda mellow. Reviews call them heartfelt if you're into campfire sing-along energy. Not so...
You get the idea. ChatGPT. Same question. One more. Yeah. Put a face up. Who's playing at Indian Fields Tavern this weekend, and are they any good?
running this.
That's the difference. So Grok is real-time, accurate information to the second relevance. ChatGPT is, you'll see more and more of that as you begin to use it. And again, it's not a right, wrong, good, bad, is it accurate? So it's kind of an interesting. I'll do one more. I'll try to do one more. It's going to go through that silly speaker. Who's playing at Indian Fields Tavern this weekend, and are they any good?
It looks like Indian Fields Tavern will be closing at 4 p.m. this Friday, September 20th.
So, yeah. No, they're not. Anyway, one last demo because it's fun. I like to do this one. There's lots of fun ones, by the way. Hopefully, you're going to go home and you're going to start playing with this because it's that much fun. But write a Python script for a traffic light simulator.
Import time Pygame. Click visuals. Trust me. Pygame.init. Screen.pygame.display.set mode. The 200, 300. Pygame.display.set caption. Traffic light. Colors of purple, 0. Then colors on, 200, 55, -1, 0 to 55.
I'm not going to keep going. So what it's doing now is it's writing the code. I'll show you the other one. Write a Python script for a traffic light simulator. Hey, Jimmy, how long did that take you?
Probably an hour or two.
It's done. And Jim's good. It's astounding. So anyway, the point is, it is going to change people's lives, and it's going to do it for the better, I believe. I think if you take anything from this program or this material, it's don't be afraid of AI. Experiment with it. It doesn't cost you anything to try it out. Just like plugging in Alexa, I'm sure most of you dabble with having it just tell you, the weather or play some music for me or turn the lights on and off. That's the most fundamental way to do it. This is just kind of the next step in capabilities and possibilities is the world. It's almost like, it's going to become a new term eventually, but, Google it is kind of going to change. The idea of Googling it is going to be a little different. AI is going to change, I think, for the positive, it's going to change the world. So we'll see. Yes, I'm going to do it this way. Yes.
I'm concerned a little bit about security. Would I be able to get your social security number?
No.
Or your blood type?
No. None of that, no.
I can't ask for California.
Anything HIPAA related, no. There's nothing you can get that's that published.
Okay.
No. Yes.
Also security related. I feel like I tried to write an email to my son, but I wanted to put in some information about myself and him so ChatGPT understood our situation.
Mm-hmm.
I felt uncomfortable putting that in. Does anybody ever see that? And in other words, am I sharing personal information that I
So there's, I can't answer.
Yes.
What-
Yes, because
It's
how many people into ChatGPT goes into a large language model?
It does.
It stays there forever.
It's a yes and a no. Rob's right about that. Yes, but there's a toggle that says, just like incognito, when you're on a web browser and you go incognito mode, so you're not saving, if you turn it on, it doesn't get retained. You can purge history, and you can also say, don't send this to the servers. But yes, by default, Rob's right, it goes up and it stays there.
And how would you turn that off again?
There's a well,
Settings, there's a button in there.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
okay, yes.
If you want to ask whether a restaurant is serving a particular menu item, and if their particular rendition of that item is any good or not, would it tell you?
Let's try Grok.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have a restaurant line, or give me an idea, a little bit more.
Say prime rib at a certain restaurant, any good?
That's one of
Grok, you there? Oh, see, it's not there. Okay, we're not going to be able to hear you real well, but who makes really good prime rib in Williamsburg, and what restaurant do you recommend?
There you go.
For prime rib in Williamsburg, Brooklyn Peter Luger Steakhouse gets rave reviews for their dry-aged USDA prime cuts. Super tender and flavorful. If you're after something else, Fireside Chop House is solid too, with folks loving their ribeye and prime rib options. Want reservations or more details?
So, not now, but, so reservations, more details, gave you 2 recommendations, you could ask for more. You could start being interactive. You can be in the car and say, take me there. And it'll know there is,
I heard Chop House, what was the other?
That's New York. That's Williamsburg, New York.
yeah, I wasn't even, I had no idea.
Fireside Chop House.
The other thing is, because of where I'm at in this location, I've probably turned off my location service. He has no idea where I am. Yeah, it's done. Yes.
I have a technical question, and I don't know if it could answer me or not. Whenever I send it, I have 2 emails addresses, and whenever I send it out to anyone, it changes my address to my Kindle address. I've been on the phone with Yahoo, they can't figure it out. I don't know how to get it not to do that, but it does it every time. So would they be able to tell me what I should do to get that not happen?
I don't know, but I'm going to say yes because I can, so I'm not as smart as they are. So yeah, we can fix
You know
that.
how to fix that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Yes.
First, is Grok better than ChatGPT?
Oh, better is a bad word. I asked.
Is it confidential?
Again, same as what Rob mentioned, it's safe, it does store things, but it stores them for you. So for example, I asked that question while I was driving one day. I said, I was referring to it as R, but let's call it Grok. I say, Grok, everything that we're talking about right now, and that when I get back in the car and we continue chatting and you give me more information on the topics that we're talking about, it remembers all of the topics. But I said, because I was curious about the same thing, I said, all this great information and all these great suggestions that we're talking about, does E-Line get any of this? No. That was the answer. No. So, no. I guess that's the answer. Now, I haven't compared it to ChatGPT to see what answered, but it's a good thing to do. And if you're concerned about something that you're chatting about or you're asking the service, put it in private mode. There's a private mode setting that you can turn on. So, one more. No. We don't have any limits here. It's okay.
Do you have an app for it, or do you have to call?
So you can-
GPT or?
Yeah, there's an app and there's a website. You can do either one. I'm not going to say which one's better.
You switched from one to the
I
other?
switch all the time, yeah.
So you have them as an app in your phone?
I do. So if I'm in here, see I have, see the folder called AI agents?
Yeah.
I flip through those. Copilot, Perplexity, Gemini, Grok, ChatGPT. You can install as many as you want.
To download them. and-
Yeah, I mean, basically you just pick one you want. The one I wasn't demoing because it wasn't working with the food is Perplexity. A lot of people love it. I think it's cute, but
I'm here to help.
yeah. So
I'm here to help. If you have any questions or need assistance, feel free to ask.
That's all it does.
and it will answer anything you ask it. It's very conversational. They're all very conversational. Yeah.
One, I think is very good. Just for information, there's a 8-hour online webinar next week, NRC, you gotta register on AI. It's on Thursday next week.
Where?
NRC, go to the website,
Oh, okay.
register online, it's 8 hours, it'll be very technical. It's the 5th year in a row they're running this seminar. By the same token, as you noted in your second slide, AI, the definition is expand rapidly. So you had noted neural networks, now optimal control theory, generic algorithms, you name it, we're now considered AI. So the field is very, very large now of what is considered AI.
And that's the point. It's changing constantly. Good point. Good point. Good. Yes.
I use ChatGPT for decorating and for landscaping.
Uh-huh.
I've never used Grok before. Does it have a similar?
Yes.
Okay, the ChatGPT will only let you do a certain number of pictures. Is
Right.
Grok the same way? Okay. Good to know.
Not yet. I probably won't, but now.
Good.
Any other questions? Everybody's waiting for the laptop, aren't you? You're all sitting here waiting for the laptop. Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, once you go onto one of these websites, are they always following you? Like, I don't
No.
know.
No. They are not following you. They don't track you. They will record what when you turn on the mic, you have to first tell it you're going to turn on the mic, and you have to give it permission to record. And when you upload a photograph, they tell you, we're going to be uploading a photograph of yours if you want it analyzed, or if you want to augment this photograph. I'm fast.
That's why I've been quiet
No,
about it.
it's.
I don't want any more people.
So, I'm like, and that's okay. Kind of buyer beware, but at the same time, on my phone, I just got a brand new phone, so I'm surprised it's actually working, but I'm still learning it. And the amount of AI in this phone is so astounding. If I take a picture and I look at it and go, it's pretty good, but I used to use what's called Magic Eraser. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it. Okay. So you go in and you circle around and you fiddle around and you want to take out, in some case you might have this beautiful lion and you're at the zoo and it's got this ugly bars in front of it, and and you're taking it out. And now I can take my phone and say, that's a beautiful picture. And I tell the phone, remove all the wire in front of that animal, and the next thing I look at it and go, it's gone. And it's perfect. It's absolutely astounding. So it's amazing what you can do with the tools. And it's all AI. So, any more questions?